Hey guys, and welcome to another review. Today I'm going to be reviewing Sonchiriya, directed by Abishek Chaubey. And I'm going to just start off by saying I love the movie. I've only seen a few movies in 2019, but right now it's my favorite one out of India. It's just the way the film approaches the subject matter. At no point does the movie deviate from its theme or its level of seriousness. You know, it doesn't break into song and dance at any point. It doesn't break into humor at any point, really. I mean, the tone is 100% consistent from beginning until the end of the film, and to me, as a film goer, that's important. And it's a 2.5-hour film, and did it feel like a 2.5-hour movie? Absolutely. But sometimes when you're dealing with something like this, a film just needs to take its time, and you have to feel it because that's a part of the experience. And I know that's off-putting to some people, but in my opinion, the film it's an action movie, almost from beginning till end. I mean, the first 20-25 minutes are pretty damn intense. Spoiler alert, this whole review is going to be a spoiler review, by the way. I did not expect Manoj Bajpayee to die in the first 25 minutes. To me, that was a genuine surprise. The trailer made zero indications that was going to happen. As a matter of fact, the trailer, in retrospect, was pretty damn good because I knew the tone and the feeling of the film, but I didn't really get a sense of the true overarching story, but it was enough to get me excited, so kudos to that. But like I said, back to Manoj dying, I didn't expect that. I expected a movie like this to be led by him because pretty much he's the only recognizable actor. I'm not saying the other cast aren't, but in terms of status, in terms of just legacy, what he's done in his career, he is that top billing performer. So to see him die in the first 25 minutes was surprising. And to be honest, I was a little worried when he died because I thought, oh no, maybe the movie's not going to be able to live up to that. I mean, the death was earned, it was impactful, I enjoyed it, but sometimes when you lose a huge character very early on, the film enters a new world, which is important, but sometimes it just never reaches the height of that moment when you lose that character. This movie ultimately did live up to that, and it continued to build upon that. And there's twists and turns throughout the whole narrative. To be honest, like I said, I loved it. If I were to rate this movie right now, just to get it out of the way, to me it was a solid 8.5 out of 10. To be honest, if the ending was a little bit better, and I'll get to that later, this could be a solid 10 out of 10 for me. That's how much I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the action, the sound design, the acting was all phenomenal. The shots were phenomenal in terms of the cinematography, but also Abhishek's choice of shots. As a director, he did a lot of interesting things that at first I was a little weirded out by, but by the end, I enjoyed it. I mean, the girl, the little ghost girl, you see at the beginning that Manoj Dada, he sees the little girl, and Lakna sees the little girl. And when the movie starts off with that, I mean, you see that like right away, you see that. Again, I felt uneasy because I thought, oh no, the movie's gonna deal with supernatural elements. It's not what the trailer was representing at all. It's gonna be a Tumbad type film, which Tumbad was okay. I'm not criticizing it that way, but it's not what I was expecting at first. And then after the intermission, the interval, there's a huge flashback in which you understand why that girl does appear to them throughout the movie. It was a pretty damn intense scene. It was actually a little bit of a confusing scene at first because I didn't really know why they were in this village. I didn't know why they were freaking flashing back at this point, because up until this point, the narrative was just going along at a pretty good pace. I mean, it was just fights, action scene, escape, action. I mean, it was like a cat and mouse game for that first half of the film. And then it slows down and it goes back to this flashback, and I was like, whoa, no, what are you doing? But by the end, when you find out that they accidentally killed all of those kids, and that girl was coming back because it was haunting them, it's phenomenal. Just because I wasn't expecting it, you know. And that's the kind of the takeaway from this whole movie is I just was able to just trust Abhishek because of Uttar Punjab, which I enjoyed a lot, where I could say, okay, I feel confident in his direction, in his ability to tell a story, where I will be able to trust him. I will be able to follow the narrative without really worrying too much. The reason why that scene works so well, that flashback works so well, is, yeah, it sets up the girl and that element, But for me, what I enjoyed the most was it gave motivation for the cop. Why he was so full of vengeance and anger and he just wanted to kill them all. Because he was there that night, and they allude to it because they never show inside. Basically he's hiding in a room in like a bed or a cupboard. I don't know what exactly it is, and behind a sheet. And the reason how you know it was him is because it shows pictures of his room, and he's there in the pictures, and again, directing wise, phenomenal, because you never actually physically see him there, but you see all of these other elements that you could piece together in your mind, because film is a visual medium, and because you're able to take in all this information, this visual information, you're able to put one and one together, and you're able to understand the fact that he was there. And so, again, that gave the film this just extra layer, and I loved it. Now, with that being said, though, after that scene where you give all this motivation for the cop kind of disappears. And that's one of my big gripes about this movie. Now, obviously, that would have changed the movie and changed the tone and changed a bunch of things. But maybe I just love this world so much. Maybe I just love the characters so much that I just wanted to see them do more. I wanted to see the cops hunt down these rebels and, maybe talk to more villagers or whatever, do police work. Obviously, that would have became a procedural film. And again, that's not what this film was. But like I said, I just fucking loved the characters that much, where I wanted to see more. The same goes for the other rebels that break off. You kind of lose sight of them as well, especially after the whole scene, the goat sacrificing scene, which there's no goat that gets sacrificed, but for those who've seen the movie know what I'm talking about, where the brother dies and the group kind of splits off and one half chases the other. You kind of forget about that. You just follow Lochna's, and I understand why you follow Lochna's side, because it's his story. It's his movie, it's his story. Why wouldn't you follow him the whole time? But like I said, I enjoyed the other people so much that I enjoyed those moments when you go back and you check in on them. The second half, there was a little bit of shortcomings there, but overall it didn't destroy the film, and that's what's most important. But let's get to the ending, because the ending for me is what really kind of brought the entire picture down. Not too much, but enough to where, like I said, it could have been a great, fantastic, phenomenal, one of the best films I've ever seen from India. But the ending it was a little weird. It threw in the whole angle of, you find out that the wife is actually the mother of the kid and the boy. And the father, you already know that part, but the father isn't the father that the film presents itself as. It's actually the grandfather, his grandfather, which is actually what starts this whole damn dilemma, because she killed the grandpa. Now, because this film takes place in central India, in a place where the caste system is 100% in existence, the film touches upon it numerous times throughout the film. It commentates on that. Because the wife killed the grandpa, it's a blood for blood revenge type thing where she needs to pay the price with her life. And that's actually why she leaves, because they actually molested her daughter. I mean, it's, like I said, there's weird angles to this that I'm thankful that the movie didn't really touch upon it that much. It kind of was, it set it up. But the ending, the reveal, the whole grandpa reveal, I don't know what it served the overall narrative of the story. At that point, we've gone through so much hell with these characters, and regardless what the relationship of the grandpa is to the son, I don't know how important it is, because, the son's not really an important character. But maybe I'm just off-put because it was so weird, and that's the whole point. And weird is not the right word, but it was so strong. It was a strong choice to have your characters have relationships like that. And so maybe that was just off-putting, and maybe it was a tough cookie to swallow or something for me. But that was a little bit much. I don't know why the cop dies at the end. That was a little weird too, because I knew he was going to kill Lochna. He had to die. Like, that was a part of his character arc. There was no way for him to not die. That's just, again, that's what the story called for. And for him to get free wouldn't have made any sense. It just would not have made any sense. But why they had to kill the cop, I don't know. It was a little weird. Again, that was a little weird moment for me. But yeah, I mean, overall, I really enjoyed the film. I enjoyed the commentaries. Like I said, there was a rebel leader, another rebel group that was a woman, which is pretty damn cool because it wasn't force fed, where it was like, oh, let's put a woman in power and whatever, like Star Wars, The Last fucking Jedi, where you gotta have Admiral SJW save the day, even though she fucking literally has no purpose in the story and it could have just been Admiral Akbar. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there, but I'm just saying, it wasn't force fed down your throats. There was no ulterior motive other than she was wronged and she joined this group. She led this group as a result. She also was a victim of abuse. She also killed, not at first, but later on, she kills the person who abuses her in a pretty brutal fashion. So I enjoyed her character. I just enjoyed all the characters, to be honest with you. All the acting, just everything was top notch. And I just really appreciated it because I honestly have a bad track record of watching trailers, getting excited for the movies, watching the movies, and then they ultimately suck. I have a really bad track record of that lately, as a matter of fact. So to be honest, I was expecting this movie to suck, despite the fact that I enjoyed the trailer a lot, and I'm pleasantly surprised to say that it did not suck. And I recommend anyone out there going to watch this film, or anyone who is on the fence about watching this film, go out, watch it, pay for that ticket price, and support cinema like this. It's important. It's refreshing. Let's just put it that way. It's important to support these outer fringes of Indian cinema because it allows those filmmakers to continue to make movies like this. And so you don't just get masala Bollywood fare all the time. But with that, guys, that'll do it for this review, and we'll see you on the next one.